Hello, amazing listeners of the Becoming You podcast. Welcome to a new episode of the podcast where we talk about the complexities of adulthood. I am your host, Bukola. Bukola. Okay, so I came across this video on Instagram on Monday. So the video is a short clip from a podcast where they were talking about friendships. And the person said, as adults, we find it so difficult to make friends because we are used to making friends from our comfort zone and we're not used to doing the work that it takes. Okay, for instance, she said, for most of us here, our friends are from school or from work or from church. Why do we have friends from these places? Because we go there frequently. While we're in school, we get to go for classes every day or every other day, and you get to meet people there. So whether you like it or not, you're in a confined space with this set of people. So you're just bound to move close to somebody. You're able to build a friendship because you get to spend a long period of time in the same confined space. How do we now keep the friendship alive when everybody is chasing after different goals? It becomes difficult because we're not used to doing the work. On today's episode, we'll be talking about how to maintain and sustain the one we have. And we'll be focusing on the don'ts of friendship, things we shouldn't do to our friends. Becoming Your podcast is that space where we're constantly working to refine ourselves, define ourselves, our values, evaluate them. We're just trying to become the better versions of ourselves. But before we dive into the conversation of the day, how are you? How's your week coming along? Hope you're doing good. Hope you're fine. Yeah, so I am doing good. If you're new, if you're watching us for the first time, welcome. Kindly subscribe to the podcast. You can subscribe on YouTube, follow the channel on Spotify, like the video, drop your comments, and now let's dive into the conversation of the day. Right before we dive in, let's hear what these amazing people think of the adulthood phase.
Adulthood is responsibility.
Adulthood is complicated.
Adulthood is growth.
Adulthood is maturity.
Adulthood is being independent.
Adulthood is stressful.
Adulthood has been confronting.
Adulthood is draining.
Adulthood is decision making.
Adulthood is resilient.
Adulthood is overwhelming.
Adulthood is fun and adventurous.
Remember, I'm not here to demonize this phase, but to say it as it is. The kind of friends we keep, the kind of friends we have, the people we keep close to us are a reflection of who we are, and they are also a reflection of who we're going to be and how far we're going to go. The kind of people you have around you determines the level of exposure you get to have. The level of exposure you get to have determines the kind of opportunities you come across. The kind of opportunities you come across, determines how much you'll be able to maximize your potential and how far you would actually go. Having the right friends around will help you shape your perspective about life. It will help you understand things better. It will help you believe in yourself more. I used to be very myopic. I wasn't asking for too much. I just wanted to be happy. I just wanted to have like a basic job, getting my salary, getting my money and all. But thankfully, the kind of people I got to move with in the university transformed my life. I was still talking to my friend recently about this and I was like, I'm grateful to God for placing me in the university I went to, which is Obafemi Awolowo University. Yeah, for placing me in that university, for helping me to meet the people I met at every phase. Having friends that have the right attitude around you is actually very good, and you also having the right attitude around your friend is also very good. So today we are focusing on us as individuals, as listeners of the Becoming You podcast. What kind of attitude are you supposed to have towards your friends? What are the things you're supposed to do and what are the things you're not supposed to do? So firstly, you shouldn't be that friend that talks down on the career of your friend, that friend that talks down or that doesn't believe in the dreams of your friend. You shouldn't be that person. Our words are very powerful. Yoruba people will say "Ẹyin lọ̀rọ̀." Ẹyin lọ̀rọ̀ is just like words are like eggs. When they come out, so it's just like a broken egg and you can't bring it back together ever again. You can't patch it together. You can't do anything about it. We have to be careful with our words. Our words can make people, our words can break people. Our opinion actually matters to our friends, and our reviews go a long way in helping our friends believe in themselves. And we have to know that. So when your friend is coming to you to tell you a business idea, plans, dreams, yes, if you feel like, okay, this thing this person is trying to do doesn't actually suit their personality, you have to try to encourage them first, not trying to ask questions or trying to critique them or trying to know where they're coming from. A friend tells you a business idea, you know deep down that, okay, this person it doesn't feel like this person can actually do this business. What do? Try to encourage them. You don't need to say things that are quite discouraging to them. Then you ask questions. Okay, why do you want to do this? What do you want to get from this when you do this? Those are the kind of constructive questions you can ask your friend. When you ask this kind of questions, you get to understand better. You get to know if they're just trying to bandwagon. You get to know if they're really passionate about it. If they're passionate about it, you just have to root for them, give them your support, and see them transform into a different person that you're even yet to meet. So that takes me to number 2. You shouldn't be an unsupportive friend. Learn to support your friends. Be supportive. Be supportive. If your friend is doing anything, let them see you at the front row. Your friend has a business, learn to patronize them. You can support them spiritually with your prayers. Let them know you're praying for them. If it's a physical support, let them know you're all out for them. So I have this friend that talks about the Brazilian culture and, Nigerian culture, cultural shocks and all of that. And, she just has this very interesting page. So you would always see me in her comment section, and you always find her in my comment section. No, I'm seeing her content. I know the work she puts into it. I know the time she puts into it. The least I can do is to watch attentively, be supportive. Another thing we shouldn't do is we should not make our friends feel bad because we want to feel good. Stop projecting your insecurities on your friends. You don't have to bring your friends down to feel good about yourself. Work on your insecurities. Work on yourself. Work on becoming better. Work on loving every part of you. Work on embracing your imperfections. It's not a bad thing when we help our friends see their shortcomings. I even think as friends we should try to have a level of sincerity with one another. Be sincere. Let them know their shortcomings, but you don't have to say it in a derogatory manner. If you feel they need to improve, let them know in a very kind way and in a kind manner. Don't be absent-minded. Some people are extremely absent-minded. They don't know when their friend is in trouble. They don't know when their friend is sad. They don't know when their friend needs somebody to talk to. They don't know, and they don't even care. They just want it to be all about them. You want your friends to always come through for you. You want your friends to always give you a listening ear. You want your friends to always be there for you, but you don't get to see past their availability for you. You don't see past that. You don't get to understand when they need you. Try not to always make it all about you. When you notice that the conversation is tilting heavily towards your side, probably you've been talking straight up about yourself and your friend is just listening quietly, you can just ask, and you be attentive to your friends, be attentive to their feelings. Don't be tone deaf. Try to listen to them, see them, and try to understand them and see through their quiet face or through their silence and all of that. Don't be that blunt and loud friend. Yeah, what do I mean by that? Don't be that person that says things to people without thinking about how it will make them feel, without thinking about how it's going to hurt them or how it's going to break them, under the disguise of that's how I am. That's how I talk. Let me just let us know right now, our personality, our attitude is totally self-made, and as such is not divinely given. Some things are actually going to be easy for you to do, but doesn't mean that you can't change them or you can't stop doing them at some point. Our personality is man-made and is made from different factors, like the kind of family we grew up in, the kind of society we live in, the kind of person we then choose to become. You can always define and redefine yourself, so you can't just always do things or say things anyhow to people like you're loud. My younger sister does this loud thing. She were arguing about something or she's arguing with somebody else, and I'm like, okay, tell me your side of the story. Then she starts speaking loud. I'm like, can you calm down? She's like, that's how I talk. I'm like, that's not how you talk. We know how you talk normally. That's not how you talk. So yeah, try to always be civil in all situations. Please be civil with your conversations. Always be civil with your friends. You don't have to be abusive. We disagree to agree. You don't have to always hold insults. You don't have to be loud. You don't have to be blunt. There's no that's how I am. There's no that's how I talk. I always say the truth. I don't know how to lie. Nobody's asking you to lie. You can say the truth in a very subtle way. You don't need to hurt people's feeling or make them feel terrible, because be that friend that always wants to take advantage of other people. Friendship is transactional if you're being sincere. So in a way you kind of feel like, oh, you're going to get something from this person at some point, or you're getting support, emotional. You just have something you're getting from that person. That's why you're still with that person. So in as much as that is true, don't be a user. Don't be that person that will take advantage of people. Life is give and take. So when your friend is giving you a shoulder to lean on, you give them your shoulder too. Just make the exchange balanced. You don't have to be engaged in an unequal exchange, or you're trying to just always use their weaknesses against them. And don't be that friend to hoard opportunities from your friends. Share opportunities with your friend. It's very good when your clique is successful. Don't be the only one moving on and leaving your whole clique behind. It says a lot about you. It says a lot about your personality. It says a lot. I know you can feel like, oh, when you move to the next stage, you make friends within that next stage, but ask around. It's very tough, and it's always beautiful when you grow with people. It's always beautiful when you win together. When you see your friends living their dreams, the things you guys spoke about years ago, and you guys start living the testimony. Always try to share opportunities with your friends. Let them say they are not interested. Don't assume that, no, she can't do it. Oh, she's not interested. Oh, she's not available. Don't be that person. Share the opportunity with your friend. So let me quickly recap on the things that I've said on the podcast. Firstly, don't be that friend that waters down the goal of your friend. Secondly, do not be that one supportive friend. Thirdly, don't be that friend that makes people feel bad to feel good. Fourthly, don't be that friend that always tries to make things all about them. Don't be self-centered. Don't be that blunt and loud friend. Don't be that friend that takes advantage of others. And lastly, you need to stay away from people that actually do all these things. Any friend that is trying to bring you down, talk behind your back, take advantage of you. Any friend that is trying to do anything that I've said earlier, stay away from them. You can try having a conversation with them about it. And if they're not changing, take a back seat and just stay away from them for your mental health, for your growth, and for your development. That'll be all on this episode. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I hope it wasn't too intense and too heavy. Cheers to becoming better versions of ourselves with each passing day. And that'll be all on today's episode. Thanks for listening. Catch you on the next episode. Do not forget to live every moment and leave no room for regrets. Remember to follow this channel so you get notification whenever I drop a new episode. Thank you. Bye.